Hello and welcome. Today we are talking about finding the courage to transform your life. And believe me, it takes courage to be brave. And you're going to find out how these two wonderful women that we're talking to today had the courage to make the changes that they needed to do in their life to really transform it to a happy life. So you might be someone who sometimes feel like you're the only one that's going through serious business or personal life challenges. Well, trust me, you are absolutely not alone. All women entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, even if you're not an entrepreneur, you're going to be going through life challenges. It's just part of, as they say, we're spiritual beings having a human experience, so it's part of the human experience. Now, if you're looking for inspiration from other entrepreneurs to find out what they did, well, you are in for a treat today. So I'm very, very delighted to have two friends of mine. I've met both of them at networking events, and if you read my posts and blogs, I'm really big on networking as being one of your key marketing strategies for any entrepreneur. And both of these women have gone through really serious traumatic life challenges. Both of their stories are very different, but they still both went through challenges, had to find solutions, had to use the law of attraction in there to get focused on what they really wanted to happen in their life when it was kind of going sideways for them. And like I said, they're not alone. I've been through it as well, and I definitely use all my law of attraction tools to stay focused and figure out, well, what is it that I do want? So if you haven't seen my shows before, my name is Dana Smithers, and I am a certified law of attraction trainer and business coach. And I run law of attraction programs online. I've got one coming up fairly soon. But I also coach women who are in startup, starting over, or even just really stuck in their business. And oftentimes we do deal mainly with business issues, marketing, creating action plans, and all of that. But it can happen that a lot of life situations come up. So that's what we're going to talk about today, and that's one of the reasons that I do these hangouts, because I hope to educate, inspire, and empower you to make healthy changes in your life. So that's enough about me, and without further ado, I would like to have my guests today introduce themselves. So we'll just go alphabetically here. So I'm going to introduce Francesca, Anastasi, and Francesca, I am absolutely delighted to have you on the show today, so welcome. And I'd just like you to introduce yourself, tell people where you live, the name of your business. I know you've got a few different businesses going, like we all do, how long you've been in business, and what kind of services you do offer. So welcome, Francesca.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, actually, so thank you for having me. I am a multi-passionate entrepreneur. I like to, when people ask me, what do you do? I basically say, you can't box me, because my brain explodes in a million different directions. So what I do today is that I am a business coach. I train instructors. I work mainly with instructors, and I train them on how to teach, but I also train them on the business aspect of being a trainer and an instructor.
And maybe tell them what you instruct in, because some people won't know that.
Yeah, in dance. Well, I don't teach them the dance part. I used to be a dance instructor and studio owner, so now I help others in that area. So help
who have dance studios and
dance studios or fitness
Perfect.
studios. Yeah. But I also create events. I like to create events that are empowering and that also unite communities. So I'm also the founder of another company called, the coaching business called Confidence. But I'm also the founder of another company that's called Shimmy Mob, and it's a once-a-year event that we run, and we raise funds and awareness for victims of abuse. So that's something else that I do. I'm very passionate about everything that I do, and I live in the Lower Mainland in British Columbia. So exactly, I'm in New West, but basically Vancouver,
Right.
Metro Vancouver. And I think that answered your questions.
Right, yeah. And so with that Shimmy Bob, I know when you and I were having our referral coffee there, it's a worldwide event, right? You get.
Yes, it is. We
Tell us a bit about it.
People sign up. It's a flash mob. It's a belly dance flash mob. It's another belly dance. You don't have to be a belly dancer to join. Anybody can join. In fact, we have men, we've had children, we've had people that work in shelters join us.
Nice.
Who've never danced before. just people that strongly believe in the cause and the vision and helping other people. So it's not just about raising the funds to go to the shelters, but also creating the awareness on how to recognize abuse. So and we have people signing up from all over the world. Well, this year we had 180, I actually don't remember the exact number, but it was over 180 locations worldwide.
Wow, fabulous.
Yeah, and it's been growing for the past 5 years. We started with 35 cities and now over 180, so
Wow.
It's been pretty successful.
Yeah, congratulations. And I know a little bit about your background, so our listeners can just hang on for that, because you're just a wonderful story of someone who just decided what they no longer wanted in life and went for it. So we'll get to that in a minute. Thanks so much, Francesca. Tetyana, welcome. And let's find out where you are, what you've got going on, and how long you've been in business. Because I know you, like a lot of women, have a lot of things going on, Tetyana.
Sometimes too many, but that's what makes you happy, right?
Right.
So my name is Tetyana. I'm super excited to be with you guys, girls, ladies. My name is Tetyana Golota, and I'm fabulous owner of Around My House consignment store in Port Moody. I live in Coquitlam. I'm married. I have a beautiful, gorgeous, handsome son. He's 20 years old. And I'm crazy creative person who is always looking for something new to do. I do have my little line that is called couture. So I select couture pieces, I cut them, and I recreate stuff out of them. I make some fascinators and little things like that. I create a company that is called Happy Lifestyle, because pretty much happy lifestyle is my choice. So that was the umbrella for covering all of those businesses that I'm involved with. My involvement with, as you know, like Government Society and Sheep Health and Valley Women Network now, and so all of those things that I would like to support women in whatever they do, because
Right.
we're all so good in
Right.
whatever we do.
Right. That's lovely. Thank you so much, Tetyana. So, you know, both Tetyana and Francesca have a lot going on in their life and have faced a lot of challenges in their life as well. And I know that, you know, other challenges will come up, but these two women have just some beautiful philosophies about life. Tetyana, I have never, ever seen her not giggling and smiling and happy, and she just got her brand new website out called Happy Lifestyle Inc., and she's just all about the happy. And you're going to find out why Tetyana has really focused on just doing things that make her happy. And as I said, that wasn't always the case, but that's how she's living her life now, and very prosperously and abundantly. So what I would like to do right now is, Francesca, I would just like to talk a little bit about and have you share your story, because I know when you first told me, I just was so utterly amazed at how much perseverance you had to make the changes. And you know, I mean, we would say that you were really, really down and out, and I don't know if that's part of why you started doing the shelters for abuse or whatever, but we would love to hear your story, you know, what happened when you're living in that basement suite, and kind of tell us how you find the courage to tell us what you went through, and then also how you found that courage to move forward in your life.
Well, like you said, I was living in a basement suite with my little daughter at the time. She was little, and I was going through a divorce, and I had legal fees coming out of my ears. I was barely making it month to month. I had a corporate job, and it was a really tough time financially and emotionally. And some friends invited us over the Christmas break to visit them, so we happened to be away. So I was living in this basement suite. The landlord and his family lived upstairs. And while we were away, I get this phone call, and my friend is calling me and is telling me, "Are you sitting down?" And you think it sounds like a cliche phrase, "Are you sitting down?" So I'm thinking she's joking. And she's like, I'm serious. Are you sitting down? So I said, okay, I'm going to sit down. So I sat down, and she says to me, I have some bad news. The home where you live has been burnt. Somebody set fire to it, and your landlord has died in the process. And we cannot get near the house because it is a murder site. It is an homicide scene, and no one's allowed near it. So there's yellow tape everywhere, and we can't go in. But there's no point you coming back home because you can't get in there. So enjoy the rest of your vacation. and literally, yeah, and it was one of those moments where it just, everything seemed really surreal. Like, you just don't know. It's just like everything went super, super quiet. And I became the stillest that I've ever been my whole life. I've never experienced that before. And it's almost, and I could see two paths in front of me. There was one path where I could see myself being a victim and whining and saying, oh, woe to me, and why is this happening to me, and what am I going to do now? And then I looked in the other direction, and it was kind of a big void. I really didn't know what was in that direction, but I made the decision not to go in the path of being the victim. I was going to use this situation to make me stronger and to learn a lesson from it. And I knew it was going to make me stronger. But that was a deciding point in my life, because had it been, I don't know why it happened at that particular moment, because I'd always had the victim mentality. I had always been one of those people like, oh, I'm just not lucky, and I'm just not fortunate. Why do these things happen to me? And this time I made that decision. No, I am going to, this is going to be a turning point for me, and it's going to be a good thing. I don't know what it's going to look like. At that particular moment, I didn't know. So anyway, that was that. So I took that decision, and then I went home after a few days, my regular flight back, and then I went back to work. And 10 days after that phone call, my boss, my supervisor, the controller in the company, calls me in the office and says, I'm really, really sorry to tell you this, but we have to let everybody go. The company's not doing well. So within 10 days, I lost my home and, the place where I lived, everything in it. And I didn't even have insurance because I couldn't afford to have insurance. So I really literally lost everything. And now I lost my job as well. And I could not find work after that. It was just like overqualified, not qualified enough. And it was relentlessly going out there, going for job interviews. And it just wasn't happening. And it was getting very, very frustrating. And then September 11th happened. And 9/11 happened. And nobody was hiring. So the mood was just like, and my unemployment insurance was running out. So now, like, okay, I have 2 mouths to feed. I had my little girl, and I have to be an example for her. And so that's where I decided to start my own business, and things turned wonderfully from there.
That's just a mind-boggling story, and yeah, I just remember being mesmerized when I first heard that. But what I'd like to talk about here is why you chose to go into dance, because I also mentor women through a program called Sacred Gifts, right? We all have three to five sacred gifts, and those are the things that make us happy and bring joy to other people. So you went into dance just because you were doing it as a hobby, and then you started it as a business?
I was doing it as a hobby. I was actually teaching for free. When I was working as a corporate, I was helping.
Okay.
I was helping other instructors in Vancouver, and I was just because I enjoy teaching so much. I was doing it. I was doing that. But when it came to making an income out of it, I really didn't have a clue. But why dance? I decided to choose dance because if I was going to hire myself, if I was going to create a business, I wanted it to be something that I could do day after day and still be in love with what I was doing.
Right.
And dance is one thing I knew I was good at teaching, and I also really enjoyed doing. Right. So that's why I decided to do that. Yeah.
That's perfect. And I know you and I have had other stories about being a new entrepreneur and not really knowing what you're doing. So that's for a whole other show.
That's a whole other story.
That's a whole other story. So we'll just carry on with this. Thanks so much. And you know, I know something I talk about with the law of attraction all the time is this particular thing that we have to look. You were totally clear on what you didn't want.
Yeah.
And it's from knowing what you don't want. I love that you said you weren't going to go down that victim road, right? Because life is all about the choice, and Tetyana's going to talk about that as well. You know, you can choose to live in scarcity, or you can choose to live in abundance. You can be a victim, or you can be empowered, and it's all choices that we make within ourselves, and that's where sometimes we have to find that courage. So, you know, going from what you know you don't want, the contrast, to figuring out what you do want, at least you knew, like you said, it was a void, but there was the dance.
Mm-hmm.
I love to dance, and also, you know, doing some things for free is fine when they're a hobby, but obviously once we start it as a business, we like to be very well paid, us ladies do. So, yeah, because we value ourselves and we're worth it, right? Tetyana, let's hear your story. A totally different story going on here. So let's just get you.
Where do we start?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you that I was working in the corporate world all my life, basically. My education in printing. I have a master's degree in engineering diploma in printing. I started from scratch, basically, in Canada, so I grew and I built my career years, I think, starting like a graphic designer and went to do planning and estimating for multi-billion-dollar companies. So, but that job became as a burden almost, because I thought since I was 5, I wanted to do this. I grew up in printing industry. I love it. I love the smell of ink, paper, everything about it. It's just I reached that point when I was kind of feeling like I was underpaid and overused. There are substance in it, like kind of. So I was looking at things to do for myself to kind of see as an entrepreneur in me, what would I like to do? And I love fashion, so I decided to open a little consignment boutique store. And I create all the designs for it and everything like that. I was extremely happy about it. And then at the same time of the opening, I was told that I have a brain tumor. So for about a year, we were monitoring it, and it needed to be removed. And that year changed my life, because I thought I'm gonna die. You don't know what kind of tumor you have, cancer, non-cancer, because cancer is usually non-treatable, so you're gone. That changed my life completely. I revalue what was really for me in life more valuable: my family and my friends and things that I do and enjoy. I made a huge decision to sell the store. I had to, because the surgery was invasive, right? It's your computer that they operate on, right?
Yeah.
One little switch and for nothing, right? To my amusement and surprise, I woke up after surgery with not partially blind, but I lost my peripheral vision. I do not see anything above.
Right.
Absolutely. So even when I walk in the park and there is branches, I don't see them. They can hit me really well. So nice to walk, hold my hand with my husband. That's
Right.
kind of that way. So, but at that moment, when somebody told you're sitting in this whole life goes in front of you, and you're thinking, okay, if I wake up after the surgery, because it's not just regular anesthetic, it's the extra one, you might not wake up, your heart might not give up. All of those negative things come to you.
Right.
Don't think negative thing. You wake up, you change your life. And that's what I did. So I wake up, even besides the vision loss, I decided that I'm going to do it. So I took a time, I focused the work and focused on myself, what I really want. And what I wanted is to be creative, to enjoy life, to have more dinners with family, spend more time with my husband, travel if possible, right? But it's all, of course, you need money for all of this stuff. But your choices every morning to be either happy or be miserable, right?
Right.
So I focused on myself. I lost a little bit of weight, which feels better for my bones, because besides the tumor and the surgery, I was diagnosed with arthritis and fibromyalgia. So I'm in pain every day for now, like from that moment on till now. I wake up every day in pain. So I warm myself up and open my eyes and go, you will have a fantastic day. And that's happened every day for me. That's why I'm giggling. I have to. Otherwise, it's your choice. It is your choice. You either be happy or be miserable, lay in bed. My choice is to be happy and get on with life. And I love people and I want to be around people. And when the choice came to me kind of in a way of the store was available for my made decision to buy it. And I absolutely, everybody who comes to the store, they love the design. I'm excited to be there, which is fantastic to have a job like that, right? When you're your own boss and you're excited at whatever you do. You change the interior, you talk to people, and they're from all different story you hear, and it's very empowering every day to see the story with a happy. Not to buy stuff, but just makes me even more happy. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy a little bit, but that's me. Even deep she talks, and I was one of the 15 inaugural event, 15 women who speak about their story. So when I share my story, the impact was unbelievable, and people were coming to me saying, "Oh my God, we did not even know what happened to you, and you're so fantastic, overlooking, like looking at life from a different perspective, right?" And I thought, oh, if I've got this reaction from 600 people and they were laughing, and I made them laugh and I made them cry, all of those things together, then I said, well, maybe that makes sense to share my story. Why? Because it will make somebody else's life more brighter in the way of, oh, I'm not alone. Similar thing happened to me. I'm also not super healthy, but I have my choices to make.
Right.
So that's pretty much what I do every day.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you said, you can be a victim or you can be a victor. And I like the word victor better.
Right. Absolutely.
Me too.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, Tetyana, I'm not sure if we had total clear audio there. So if we didn't, I'll put some of those.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not you. It's just sometimes the internet. But Tetyana was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And I remember when she told me that, we were just casually talking at a networking event, and I just looked at her. I said, "You had what?" And she's, "Oh yeah, I just had this brain tumor, and I just stopped working for a while, and and she's laughing, and she's got all this. Her jewelry is out there, and she makes fascinators and everything. And I just thought, whoa, I've got to have you on my program. So. Yeah, just the things that you've done, and you really do, when we share stories like this, I really believe that we do help inspire other people. I mean, Francesca's, yours were personal hurdles that you had to go over. You had really a daughter who was, part of that push that's like, okay, I've got to take care of her. And Tetyana, I know you have a big family. I just need to go on Tetyana's Facebook page, and you'll see she's always doing something. She's involved with so many different groups. But, I found that very interesting. You said that you don't have any peripheral vision now, that, it's sort of like wearing a baseball cap, you told me. And that's interesting because that just changes everything, right? Like, as humans, when these things come up, whether it's cancer or whatever comes your way, there are going to be adjustments. So, we're absolutely resilient human beings, and it's not to say that, I'm sure Francesca and Tetyana and I could say that, of course, we've had days where it's like, ooh, oh, just not liking what's going on here. But you know what? I just say, I'm stopping work for the day, because as an entrepreneur, I can do that, and I just go do something that I like to do, right? Because it's really important. From the law of attraction perspective, that we get ourselves back into these positive vibe situation, right? And that's what Tetyana is talking about. When you're happy, you're here. When you're not so happy, you're kind of at the other end of that, and the energy goes down. But I so admire you two for what you've accomplished and how much encouragement and hope that you do give other people. And I know what you said, Tetyana, about doing those talks with 600 women, that would, deeply affect us. But because you can also laugh at some of this, like, yeah, well, I walk into branches, but, whatever, or I might not see anything about me, just a totally different, truly a different perspective, right? So, yeah, I just love both your stories. I love what you're doing out there in the world, and, really admire that. So just before we wrap up, I just wanted to let people know as well that you can go to my website and you can actually get this ebook, The Power of Your Words, because everything, all the results, everything that you manifest, these ladies were talking about not wanting to be victims. Well, you're a victim in your head. You need to get out of your head. And you need to change those negative thoughts into positive and figure out what it is that you want to do in your life. So that book will help you do that. And I do have I have a 4-week Law of Attraction program, training program coming up. It's done online. It's done on the Google Hangouts like this. So that's coming up fairly soon. So make sure you check out my website, danasmithers.com/programs and /law-of-attraction. So Francesca, would you please tell people how they can get a hold of you? And I know you've got some big events coming up as well, so please.
Yeah, they can go to my website, confidence.com, click on the events tab, and there will be 2 links there, one that will direct to the Shimmy Mob for those who want to know more about it, whether they want to participate or sponsor, or there's another one I'm actually planning. I'm organizing a women's conference, an empowering women's conference next year.
Woo!
Yeah, it's called Magnificent You, so the link is there on the website. So just go to confidence.com under events, and you can find the information there.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And if anybody watching has a dance studio or is thinking about doing it, they need a coach like Francesca, so make sure you check her out. And Tetyana, you got all sorts of things on the go here. So your website is, your new website is happylifestyleinc.com, so people can find you there. And can they find all your around my house consignment and the She Talks and?
It's all in the website. I kind of created the website to have like an umbrella, so people see what I'm involved in, what I do. Everything is there, information. But if they want to contact me personally, the best thing is through the Facebook private messaging, because I'm on it every day.
And
it's just easier that way.
Is your Facebook page Tetyana Golota? Is that the one to do?
That's right. Yeah.
So I'll just spell your name for them, right? I better do that because you don't have that up there. So it's so just go to Facebook and it's Tetyana, Tetyenya, Golota, Tyana, right? And then Golota,
Golota.
Right, good. Okay. I don't have it right in front of me now, so I can't do that. But anyway, thanks so much. So, ladies, thanks so much for joining me today. And as I said, these are wonderful women. You find a lot of wonderful women at your networking events. So if you're not networking, I suggest you want to check it out wherever you live. If you don't have formal networking groups, there's lots of meetups that you can go to, and things like, Tetyana started and Francesca started. We all can start our own meetups and get things going and bring like-minded people together. So again, I'm Dana Smithers with Empowered Women in Business. Thanking you so much for joining us today, and we'll get this posted, and I look forward to having the opportunity to perhaps interview these 2 guests again on an entirely different topic. All right, bye for now.
Thank you, Dana. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.